Good morning, everybody. It's your Redvin, and I'm going live mainly because you know what? Going live for some reason kind of works for me at this moment because I don't have the pressure of editing. And whenever I do record a video, y'all, I'll be so exhausted because I may have recorded one before I've gone to work. And now the seasonal hours are kicking in. Hopefully, y'all can hear me through all this rain and stuff in the background. But the hours are kicking in because Tarjay is going through their seasonal situation. So by the time I even get home, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like dealing. I got my 3-year-old bouncing around, bouncing all over me like a personal trampoline. And anyone who has toddlers, y'all know what time it is. You know how kids can be. And I can always tell her go sit down somewhere 50, 11 million times, but it ain't like she gonna really listen because she's 3. Okay. So basically, I voted. One, if y'all can see my sticker, I voted. I just voted. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to vote only because um, we moved from Greenville County in Greenville, whatever, 3 months ago, and it had me inactive. But because I am a registered voter, I think that's why they went on ahead and let me vote because they could update it in the system. Now, years ago, I'm gonna say about roughly 0809 time frame, I did work for Mecklenburg County, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I worked for Board of Elections, and it gave me a better insight. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, we try to spread the awareness and the reasons why you should go vote. But for me personally, when I was 18, I wasn't in tune to voting because I wasn't that well versed in politics, and I'm still not as much. But I watch YouTube clips a lot because we don't have cable, we have Fire Stick or whatever. But I do watch a lot of YouTube, and I watch the clips of like The View with Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Megan McCain, and the rest, and Joy Behar, whatever. And I think the other lady's name is Abby. So when I tune into those clips, they do give me a better understanding. Stupid. Sorry, y'all. Some dumbass in the fucking rain thought it was cool to cut me off. Or not really cut me off, but just jump in front with no blinker, dumbass. But anyway, y'all, back to the subject at hand. I look at those clips because they do kind of give me an insight to political views, from all sides or whatever. And what I've come to learn is well, for one, being a citizen of the United States, let's start there. You have been cursed because he ain't a blessing, but I'm not gonna give him that title, but 45 basically, have been put into office, and he doesn't have a clue to what he's doing. He bit off more than he could chew, first and foremost. And y'all know I don't really talk politics, but this is a day that I feel is necessary. He to me, he is nothing more than an entertainment entity. He's not really a political figure that I would personally follow, or I feel like he's going to lead this country to victory. You know what I'm saying? Or to victorious times, because he has shown the clown foolery that he's been pulling lately. Like, I'm sorry, people can say what they want about Obama, but he didn't have time to be on Twitter. Hell, what kind of time do you have on your hands as the president to sit there and be like, like to engage in the nonsense? You get what I'm saying? It's already a lot of responsibility being the leader of the free world. So, as I could imagine, but you're going to sit there and entertain just whatever's going on in the world. You're going to sit there and put it out. If you're a real president, if you're a true leader, you don't have time for that. You don't make time for that or whatever. You do your fucking job. Then, again, when I was 18, I didn't take a lot of that stuff. But the best thing that my mother could have told me at such a young age was, you'll start caring when it starts affecting your paycheck. And boy, if those have never been any true words that have been said by somebody, because that is some true tea. You don't really realize until your paycheck is affected that this is some real stuff. And sorry, y'all, if my hand is in the way, I'm driving. But, the fact that somebody, especially because if you Google it, I don't think a lot of people know. If you Google it, becoming the president is almost like an entry-level position. It's not necessary for you to have political background, although I would like for my president to have political background. It's not required. It basically just says you have to be over 35 years of age. You understand what I'm saying? In which I think Obama has been the youngest president to date. I could be wrong. Fact check me in the comments or whatever. But as far as I had a breakdown with my son. I wanted to take him with me, but I had to go all the way into a different city limit just to vote or whatever, and I had to do it on a paper ballot. So, because they had to update my registration and stuff like that, so I wasn't able to stand in the thing. And since you get it done, I was actually at the election place, for registration and stuff like that. So I just went on ahead and got it done. Plus, it's raining and stuff, and I normally don't really travel out in the rain like that. I don't really care to, but trying to move it up a little bit. But for me personally, take this off. I just went ahead and get it done and over with because I don't want to have my son and my daughter out in the rain either. But y'all, this I had to explain to my son how important this election was because I didn't realize till I seen the girlfriend's thing on my timeline on Facebook that you could register your kids at 16. Now, of course, they can't vote to the 18, but you can register them as early as 16, which I think is a wonderful thing because it kind of gives them, let them be a part of the process, necessarily vote, themselves. It still allows them to be a part of that process. Let me see. I think my thing is getting darker. No. So y'all bear with me if it gets a little dark or something, because you can see in the background it's raining. But I just felt like, this is just one of those things where we need to get out there. Like, so many people thought that, oh, well, I'm not going to vote because, it means that's less than. But I'm like, let me get my white ass hand out the damn thing. That's why I'm thinking it's getting too dark. But like I was trying to inform people, the people who didn't vote, you didn't lessen his chance. If anything, you strengthened them because you didn't vote against him getting in. You get what I'm saying? So then so that almost like it doubled the chances of pro-Trump activists to vote, and hence he's in. So then a lot of people I've seen on timeline, I even had a lady in Target was like, she regretted the fact that she voted for him. And the ones that voted for him, I'm not going to necessarily say that they because just because you vote for a person doesn't mean you wholeheartedly agree with everything 100% with what they're about. I'm sure there's people that are for Trump but don't necessarily agree with every single thing that he was trying to campaign out there during his time. It was just like it was like now though, the ones that were so gung-ho, you notice the ones that were very gung-ho about Trump are now wholeheartedly regretting that shit because they knew they put a fool in the office. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's a puppet. He is a puppet, and the puppet master is Pence, and the other folks the other fools that are in Congress that are just laying bills before him and laws to be signed, and he's just signing them. Whatever sounds good, you know what I'm saying, or whatever works in his favor, because I'm sorry, it makes no fucking sense to have pay cuts for the fucking rich. What do they need a pay cut for? You get what I'm saying? Like, seriously, sorry y'all if it's too loud. I can always come back. But what they necessarily for? Hell, you rich, you got this money. So broke a joke like me, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, can be one paycheck away from literally living out on the streets. I think that is stupid. You know what I'm saying? The average working people, like, I'm sorry. Unless you're going to give me the winning lottery ticket the next fucking day, it is no way that I could survive out here by getting more taxes added on to my shit. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they already living like fat cats. And yes, that's the position that they chose. We all choose our paths in life. But at the same fucking time, it still makes no sense. And I know y'all can agree with me. But yeah, I explained to my son how I wish I had taken the process a lot more serious earlier on when I was 18. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about voting or whatever. I just didn't think it was that serious. And I was in the military at the time. But again, when you're not well versed, because think about it, these attorney generals, these commissioners, mayors and stuff like that, you really don't know about a lot of these people until it is time to vote. So with that being said, I'm glad that I have somebody like my mother who's definitely well more versed in politics than I am. Somebody who can enlighten me on certain situations if I have questions or whatever, because I'm not ashamed to say that I'm not as well versed or whatever, because it's better than going out being ignorant and fronting like I know more than what I actually do. So with that said, like I said, with my son, I made it a point to go ahead. Uh-oh, y'all, sorry, it reconnected. But to let him know that this is, you can't complain basically unless, like, your vote counts as your voice, and you can't complain if you don't voice, what I'm saying, if you don't cast your vote in and have a voice. Because my husband, he's never been registered and he doesn't vote, and he would have so much to say on politics. I said, but how can you sit here and say these things if you don't vote? You don't even have a room to complain. Like, I don't even want to hear this shit. And I think nowadays he's starting to warm up. He's starting to get to it now. Of course, he won't be able to participate in the voting today because it's today, and you have to register 30 days before any election. Plus, make sure when you move, because that was my downfall. I went on DMV online to update my address, and I think in the system it is. It's just not on my actual license that it is or whatever, because I haven't physically gone and gotten another one. But excuse me. But I also was just telling my son, I know it doesn't seem like much now because you're 16, but as much as you are on social media or whatever, start getting in tune with what's going on around you. I always stress to him how important it is to be in tune with his atmosphere and his surroundings, especially when it comes to things like this. Because I told him, ultimately, son, these are the things that affect you and your generation coming up. You know what I'm saying? Things have been affecting me and my generation for a long time now. You're only 16. So now is the time, while you're young, while it's fresh, while it's in your face, to bone up on it. You know what I'm saying? And again, he's only 16, and yeah, I could register him, but I would rather that be a choice of his own, because I don't want to start making life decisions for him or whatever. I need him to educate himself enough to make wise decisions when it comes to things like this. And I hope y'all are encouraging and educating y'all's children, because I'm sure there's plenty of y'all that know way more about politics than I do. But my thing was, I would have been so brokenhearted had I not been able to participate in this vote based off of me being inactive in a different county. But the fact that I was registered allowed me to still vote, and they're going to update it for me in the system, so that way I'll get my actual card in the mail. And for that, I'm just grateful to be able to do that. Like, to have this freedom to stress to him, not only privilege, it is your God-given right. Because guess what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was stupid at 18. Like, yeah, I've never been a slave and stuff. But as I gotten older, because with age comes wisdom, I definitely had to get it into my head, like, look, our ancestors fought so hard. Yeah, I know. And my son was born February 2nd, so he was born in the beginning, the Omega of Black History Month. So with that being said, I had to tell him, I said, yeah, we hear a lot about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, whatever, because these aren't just that you tell every Black history. This is Black History 365. And if it wasn't for the Martin Luther Kings of the world, the Rosa Parks of the world, or whatever, we wouldn't even be able to have the freedoms that we have, or to be considered for certain things, like certain positions at jobs, or just jobs, period. The ability for Black people to vote. And not just that, women's rights. Even though he's my son, you know what I'm saying, I just try to educate him, like, we fight to have these rights and stuff, and then a lot of people don't even exercise them for whatever reason. Even if I'm not the most educated, like I said, on these candidates or whatever, but I'll get educated enough to decide who I'm going to vote for, and I'm going to cast my vote, because that's just like casting my voice, that I matter, my voice matters, my vote matters. And even if whoever I vote for doesn't necessarily get my voice, my whole point to this video, and to as son, it might not seem like a lot to you right now, but trust me, as you get older and as you get more educated in politics, you will soon see that we're doing a reason for it. It's a reason for it. The end result, it doesn't know that it matters. It did. But yeah, I ain't get on. And I just hope that everybody that was able to, exercise there, because it's important. It's what our ancestors fought for. It's what everybody marched for. And you just don't want a